Good evening, I'm Greg Sharpe. Our sports ticker brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. A pair of Husker football coaches met with the media today. Defensive line coach Terrence Knighton and special teams coordinator Ed Foley each spent about 15 minutes with the media. Knighton talked about how happy he is to be in Lincoln.
Thank you to you guys for welcoming us to Nebraska. My family's here. We're enjoying it. It's a dream come true for me, and I'm excited to get to work. My grandma probably kill me right now because I don't have a haircut for this, but just been grinding, and the players been grinding. I look forward to working with those guys, and I'm excited about building relationships with you guys and getting this thing back on track.
We'll hear more from both coaches coming up later in the hour. One game tonight in Big Ten women's hoops. Not much of a game. Maryland at halftime all over Penn State 41-18. Husker men's indoor track and field squad up to number 6 in the latest national poll. That's the highest ranking for the men since 2015. Husker women also, for the first time this year, cracked the top 25. They are in at number 20. Huskers will host the Frank Savine Husker Invitational this weekend at the Devaney Center. The hockey world is mourning the loss of Hall of Famer Bobby Hull. The Golden Jet, as he was called, skated after a lengthy career for the Chicago Blackhawks, playing for the Blackhawks 15 of his 17 seasons. He was the first player in the history of the sport to score 50 goals in a season. Hull was 84. The 1890 Initiative, helping Husker student-athletes navigate name, image, and likeness. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now get ready for another night of Sports Nightly coming up here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Meyer, another three. This one's not good. The rebound and a great block out by Griesel. Vanderbilt's got the ball. 4-0 run to start the second half. Wilcher drives the basketball, splits a double. Oh! What a play! Wilcher, what a fantabulous play! There's our play of the game.
Wow, what a finish by C.J. Wilcher. And the first time tonight, the crowd is on their feet. A little 6-0 run to start the second half.
Kaiser, left low block, guarded by Stewart. Knock away to steal for Kendall Moriarty. Here come the Huskers with 1:06 to go in the second quarter.
There it is.
Trailing by 11. Three ball, Lonnie Stewart all alone. You betcha! Off the steal and assist from Kendall Moriarty. Timeout, Kim Barnes, there we go.
And here come the Husker crowd.
To Jazz Shelley.
Throw it back.
Jazz has a double team. Throws it deep left side. Kellen Hake for three. You betcha!
Griesel bring it across the timeline. How about a couple of quick baskets here? Down 10, deep left corner, Jamarcus Lawrence, three. Got it! Nothing but net. Swishola, a CVA three for Jamarcus Lawrence.
At top, Hybe has it. Huskers looking for a road win over a top 5 team. Hybe driving and scoring down the left lane line. That was classic Sam Hybe.
Yeah, good pace by Sammy. Nebraska answers.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are, back with another week of Sports Nightly. Hope you had a good weekend. Jessica, really enjoying the frigid temperatures that have come back. I told you last week, enjoy those 40-degree days this time of year.
Oh, it's brutal. It is terrible. My mom's coming up. I told her to get ready. I don't know if she's ready.
Quite a bit better tomorrow.
Okay, well.
Double the temperature tomorrow, and then back in the 30s by Wednesday.
You're acting like that's a huge heat wave, like it's San Diego weather.
Yeah, I'll be back.
The 30s.
I'll be wearing shorts on Thursday, walking around here.
And your shades that were very popular the other day.
Well, it was bright outside. It's really bright out there
That's
day.
the thing. Like, you don't believe me, but I still have a lot of snow in my yard. I sent you a photo, but, like, it still hasn't melted in my apartment complex. But when you go outside, when the sun is out and it's off the snow, it's, like, blinding. The sun and the snow, like,
really bright.
it's super bright.
Really bright, really bright. Still kind of waiting for a nice little significant snow. We have not had that here in the Lincoln area.
I think we're good. We're good.
A lot of folks
Don't speak it into existence, please.
A lot of weeks north and west of here. Yes, you have. You've had quite a bit of snow. You probably don't like when I say that, but I still have not been able to use my snowblower. Both basketball teams, different results. I thought the men played hard. What a day for Sam Hoiberg. That was cool to see him. Maryland just had too much. But you can't fault their effort, Jessica. They're playing hard. And I think they're kind of doing about as much as they can with what they have to use.
Yeah, just so tough again. And, Jake was talking about this on the broadcast. It's just, it just completely changes the identity of this team. And it's just hard to maintain what the identity has become for this team and the lockdown on the defensive end when you lose arguably your two best defenders or two of your guys that really set the tone on that end. And that's what this team has become, and that's what's kept them in a lot of games, and that's what's won them a lot of games. And so when you lose two of those guys that are just so instrumental to what they want to do, overall as a team, I mean, their defense is what's led to offense. Most of the time, they are not a extremely efficient offensive team. And they haven't been one that shoots it at a high rate, but they lock down defensively, and that's what has kept them in games. Also, the rebounding part of it, and Coach Hoiberg talked about that too, is the games they've won the rebounding battle. The games they've lost the rebounding battle. So just, two of the big aspects of what this team has kind of been built off of, you lose a lot of that with Emmanuel Bandamel and Juwan Gary no longer being in the lineup. And so, but they fought, and they were right there in it, but Maryland's been good at home this year.
Yeah, I think they've lost one time.
And it wasn't not in conference. It was to UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA got in there and beat them. So Huskers did not come home. They're in Champaign tonight. They will play tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, so we will not have a show, 5 o'clock, for pregame coverage here on the network with Kent and Jake, who I'm sure have really enjoyed their lengthy stay in Champaign for the last couple of days. Now for the women, I thought the week off did them some good. I thought they looked like they had fresher legs, that they were getting their shots off really well. And they, for a good chunk of the first half, kind of dominated Iowa.
They really did, and still didn't shoot it the best that, at one point in the first half that they were not shooting it very well, but boy, they got back in it. They should be able to take a lot of confidence away from that. And I know this team is not about moral victories. They fully believe that they're at a point now where they should be able to go on the road and win these kinds of games. But, Iowa is a tough place to play. That is a really good team. That's a top 10 team, no doubt. They just knocked off Ohio State. That's going to be a team that has the tools to go on a Final Four run. And that Caitlin Clark is the best player in women's college basketball. So, I think they could take a lot away from that. They played a lot better in that game than they did in the previous couple of outings. And so, I think they can build off of that, hopefully. But you're right. They absolutely look like they took a lot. Sometimes, you hate it when you come off a bye week or whatever and you come out slow or sloppy or, not putting forth your best effort, but they look like they took a lot away from having that week off and going into that week. And hopefully they can build off of that and keep getting better. They still got some huge opportunities left on the schedule.
They're hitting this week's a really winnable week for them. The home game Thursday against Michigan State, and that was really odd seeing. And hopefully she's okay. Susie Marchant, the longtime coach in Michigan State, was involved in a car accident over the weekend, didn't coach yesterday. Sparty played at Illinois, got beat. They'll be here Thursday. And then a very beatable Northwestern team on the road a week from tonight for the women. So they need to get kind of rack up some wins here in the next stretch. And these are very, very winnable games for them. And they need to improve the record. They're 12-9 right now. They've got to kind of build it back up. And the committee likes hot teams late. So if they can ratchet this back up in February, I think they'll still be okay.
Yeah, I think, again, there's a lot of people have said that they're on the bubble. I think right now probably they are in that, but I do think the Big Ten's net overall, and they have got some really good teams overall in this conference, that they're probably going to give the nod to some of the teams in the Big Ten like they do in other previous years. This is a very strong conference this year, but yeah, they've got to win the games that they're supposed to win, and you got to maybe find a way to get a couple of those games over those ranked opponents and win a couple in the tournament. But they've got to take care of business, absolutely, or they are going to be firmly on that bubble, and that's not where you want to be. You do not want to be on the bubble. You want to have guaranteed your spot in it to where you're not nervous on that selection Sunday. You want to get yourself in there, and they still have a chance to solidify their spot in the tournament without being on that bubble talk.
Here's their next three. Home Thursday with Michigan State, who's not bad, but that's a game that you've got to win if you're Nebraska. You've got to get that victory in your back pocket. Then they go to Northwestern, and then it's Illinois. What's going on here? What I got going on here? Expired. I like that spot.
Expired.
We have an ant
Expired.
problem. Aunt Jenny's here ringing the doorbell. After Northwestern, they come home the next Thursday to play Illinois. So that's, again, a team you better beat at home. And so those are the next three. And I think they can rack up a little 3-game winning streak here and kind of build some momentum before they go back on the road to play a really good Michigan team. Football recruiting is at least for official visits, over for a while, as we've now entered another phase for the football calendar. It ended on Sunday night. Coaches are now tied to Lincoln for a while, which they're probably glad. They don't have to travel for the next couple of months. And they picked up another commitment. Huskers got a defensive lineman out of California over the weekend, Sua Lefotu, who is a big fella, 6'4", 285.
Did you get the pronunciation on that?
I don't know if that's exactly right. Sua, I think, is right on the first name. Lefotu, I think, is close, but I don't have the full pronunciation.
I mean, just because we got a couple wrong on signing day last, so we have to make sure. I did too. We have to make sure we get those right before February 1st, before Wednesday.
Well, he committed over the weekend. So Nebraska, I think, Jessica, is up to 103 guys on the roster, scholarship athletes on the roster right now. But another defensive lineman, young guy. I think the staff liked what they saw in there. Maybe one more addition to this class before Wednesday's signing day. But, we're going to hear from Coach Knight and Coach Foley here in a little bit. But the staff, pretty good rate. When they get them on campus, they've done really, really well.
Yeah, they have. Boy, they have. I wonder what their hit rate is. It's almost 90%.
I think I was going to say 80%, yeah.
I mean, I can only think of a few that came here that didn't commit, and I know they're still waiting on a couple, but yeah, when they've gotten them here, and I just think it's, Coach Rule put out a tweet the other day, I love Nebraska. I think you can tell how much he and the staff love it here and appreciate it here. And again, I mean, I go back to the conversation I had with Ed Foley the first weekend that they were recruiting, and he had talked about, they've done 2 rebuilds, and this is by far the better situation of any of the 3 that they've taken over in the college situation. And I think they are so appreciative of the fan base, the support, the resources already in place, because again, at Temple, it's a little bit harder up there. There's not as much support for that program. And then at Baylor, you have to remember, boy, they were kind of on the outskirts. People were done with them. They were, what's it saying, where they were kind of being shunned a little bit, I mean, Baylor was in a bad place because of all of the issues that had gone on. And so, I think for them to take over here and to have the things in place that they have, I think they've been super appreciative. I think they are so excited. And I think a lot of that staff really likes the college. They went to the pro level and the NFL level. And, while they'll take a lot away from that and be able to sell that when they get kids on campus and help those guys develop. I mean, I just had a conversation with Corey Campbell about that, about how, he knows what the bodies are supposed to look like and what goes into building an NFL type caliber athlete. And so when he gets them in the weight room, he knows what goes into that. But I think I think they were appreciative of their time in the NFL, but I think they absolutely love college football, and I think this is where their hearts are, and I think they are absolutely thriving being back in the college scheme.
They seem like they're in their element.
Yes.
Doing this stuff.
Absolutely.
And I think the coaches would agree with you, Jessica. They don't view this as the kind of rebuild that they had at Baylor or Temple. And
I don't think they call it or considering it a
right.
rebuild. Yeah.
Here was a quote from Matt Rule, and when he appeared on Bussin' with the Boys. This is a quote from Coach Rule. What I respected about Nebraska was the players. They had just lost their head coach. They had some tough losses along the way, but they just kept battling. To me, that's half the battle. If you can get a group of people to commit to playing hard and fighting even when you're out of bowl contention. If you go to Iowa, the last game of the year, Iowa needs to win the division, and you beat them. There's something in that locker room.
1,000,000%. I mean, and you and I talked about
Isn't
that.
It 100?
Well,
With the 100 logo.
I'm adding some zeros to that, but. You and I talked about that all throughout the year and the year before. They could have quit the last 2 years and didn't, and they kept fighting and they kept battling, and I think shout out to the coaching staff, but also you have to give a lot of credit to those guys in the locker room and how they rallied around each other and wanted to go battle with each other. And I've said it a million times. I'll keep saying it. I think that's why a lot of them stuck around here with this coaching staff, because I think if you look at a lot of places where it wasn't good within the locker room, a lot of them bolted, right? I mean, I guess I'm not really shocked, but I am a little shocked that there weren't more guys that entered the transfer portal. But I think that goes back to I think there's a lot of players that have bonded and have been through so much together, and they didn't quit, and they don't want to quit now. You know, they're so close now, and they believe now. They absolutely have to believe in this coaching staff moving forward. But I think a lot of them want to stick it out together, and they haven't quit on each other yet in the last 2 years. I don't think they're ready to start quitting on each other yet, or quitting on each other now. So I think that's a big part of why you're seeing a lot of them stick it out and stick together right now.
They're working hard right now, knee deep into the winter conditioning program are the Huskers. Folks, First Interstate Bank built for you. Learn more at www.firstinterstatebank.com, member FDIC. All right, here's what we have on the program. Both Coach Knighton and Coach Foley spent about 15, 20 minutes with the media this afternoon. We'll play you some of the highlights of that. There's some really good stuff in there. We'll do that here this hour. Next hour, we lasso John Cook. A new episode of Kicking Back with the Cooks is about to drop. Look for it tomorrow. We're going to play you a snippet of it. You're going to want to hear about Coach Cook's New Year's resolution. That's all I'll say about that for now. So we'll have all that. And we want you to be a part of the program, 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. In fact, let's work a caller in before we go to our first break. Jim out in North Platte. Good evening, Jim.
Well, good evening to you and Jessica both. And I'm just calling to ask, I remember the good old days, 70s and 80s and the 90s. What do you think it'd take this coach to get us back to the good old championship games and get into bowl games? And thank you very much for very much taking a call.
Well, that's their hope. They all want to get it back. A lot of them, even today, like Terrence Knighton says, we're looking forward to getting this thing back on track. So that's their goal, is to get Nebraska back at the upper echelons of the sport.
That being said, again, I think we appreciate the past, but also move forward, and I think that's where this coaching staff has done a good job. I mean, it is embracing the tradition and the history, and there's a lot that's built off of that, but also it's moving forward into a new era, and so I think they're doing what it takes in terms of bringing in guys that they can develop. I think that's a big part of it, is getting guys that believe in how they're going to implement their culture. It's going to be tough to play for this staff. They are going to expect a lot. They have high expectations, and it's going to be tough, but it's also what's going to make them better. And I think they're going to continue to develop guys and get them where it's a process of, they might not be the highest rated recruits and ready to play right now, but it's going to be a process of getting guys in the right places and developing them in talent. But I think they're getting guys that buy into what they are selling, and that's, to me, the most important thing, is guys that are going to believe in that culture, because they've proven that they can do it at two different places.
Folks, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. When we come back, some clips from Terrence Knighton and Coach Foley. We'll have both those for you next.
Your story. It lives in River City, where you can enjoy a metropolitan vibe and a small town feel, where we set the standard for service and looking out for one another, where there's so much more than steak in our thriving food scene. Your story is the story of Omaha, told by those who live it and love it, whether that's helping you keep up with the Cornhuskers or creating the content you crave. And here in the Omaha World Herald is where it comes to life. Omaha World Herald, where your story lives.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. For the 5th straight year, the University of Nebraska system is a top 100 patent-earning institution. NU system researchers were granted 43 patents in 2021, with UNL researchers named as inventors on 25 of these patents. Husker patents include 3 projects with partners at the University of Nebraska Medical Center and 6 patents for a surgical robot developed by faculty in the College of Engineering.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, The perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
My husband and I love to live in Nebraska.
It's the good life.
We always vacation here.
Love those Nebraska state parks.
We love to eat here.
Where are you going to get a better steak?
And we love to play here, especially Nebraska Pick 5 from the Nebraska Lottery. It has a $50,000 starting jackpot, drawing 7 days a week, and all the proceeds go back to our state.
Hey, honey, this weekend, let's buy some Nebraska Pick 5 tickets, go to a state park, and grill some steaks.
Like our first date.
I'm no amateur.
Top prize odds 1 in 501,000.
Nebraska women's basketball offers one of the best values in all of Husker sports with single game reserve tickets at Pinnacle Bank Arena for just $15. Adult general admission seating is just $10, while youth and senior general admission tickets are $5. Children 6 and under are just $1. Plans now to bring your whole family to Husker women's basketball for Big Ten home games in January and February. Get your tickets and the full schedule at Huskers.com.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns for teachers.
Wilcher inbounds it on a bounce pass to Breidenbach. Coming up to catch it is Wilcher. Wilcher fires the three on the way. Bingo! Nothing but nylon! Wilcher with his third three, and the Huskers are up 15 at 43-38.
Hey Husker fans, tomorrow join Kemp Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisen on the HRN as the men's basketball team faces off against Illinois. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. Tune in to your local affiliates or at huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealers, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody, back with you. It is a Monday night here on Sports Nightly. So glad you've chosen to spend a little bit of time with us. Couple of football coaches met with the media earlier today. Terrence Knighton, the defensive line coach for the Big Red, and also you had Ed Foley, who's the special teams coordinator for the Cornhuskers. We'll start with Coach Knighton, and he was asked, how did you guys hit the ground so fast? What did you allow you guys to do? And just talk about the dynamics with the coaching staff as it pertains to recruiting.
The thing about that is, Coach Rue came to Temple my sophomore year. He was my D-line coach. And the level of urgency that they had as coaches, it changed us as men. So this started just from learning from them how they do things, the urgency that they had with the classroom, being in the community, getting in shape, football, everything. And it's just something they instilled in us. And the time I was at Temple, it wasn't an attractive place to be like it is now. But, we were part of the building blocks to what it is now. But just the urgency that they had and, the way they wanted us to live our life kind of helped us to be successful, whether it was football, coaching, or working at Apple. It could have been anything.
That's an interesting word. I don't know that I would have used urgency, but I get what he's talking about, that there's just this is so important type feel about this staff. And I think it goes back to what you said in the opening segment, that they're kind of back in their element in college football where they feel really, I think, like they're in a familiar area.
Yeah, and I think right there you're hearing what we've been talking about too, with you're hiring all these guys that played for you, and they believe in it because they saw it pay off. I mean, Terrence Knighton saw it turn around at Temple, and so he can go and then sell it, and people are buying into it. And it wouldn't be authentic if he was saying it. And why would you come back and work for somebody if you didn't believe in it and you didn't see it work the first time around when you were a player? So I think that's one of the big things with having so many players that played for him, that obviously they believe in it or they wouldn't come back and work for him.
Right.
And so here is right there proof in the pudding. He saw it work at Temple the first time around. And so, I think that's where it's been so beneficial to have guys that have been with him for so long, that played for him, and then have coached with him, and they believe in it wholeheartedly.
We've talked some about Coach White, the defensive coordinator, Tony White, likes to play a 3-3-5 defense. So what does that mean for a defensive line coach? Does he just coach three positions, or does he coach edge rushers? What does he have? That question was presented to Coach Knighton today. Here was his response.
We're still trying to figure that out. I know I'll have the edge guys, but Tony's scheme is a little different than it has been in the past here. And we're still trying to figure out if that fourth guy is a linebacker, DN. We don't know, and that's kind of going to work to our advantage. So we're still figuring that out, and, hopefully once, when we figure that out, hopefully other teams won't figure that out until Saturday.
Now, Tony White's a little bit different. He's not quite as in step with these guys. He hasn't been around a lot of these coaches as much as Coach Rural has. So I think guys like Coach Knighton are trying to figure out Tony White. So he was asked about his early impressions of the defensive coordinator that he is now working for.
Good luck, because it's a lot. It's going to be a lot to defend. It's kind of, you're going to lose some sleep trying to figure out where we're lined up, where guys are lined up, how we're going to attack you. And, and you got to have dynamic guys for a scheme like that. So I'm looking forward to learning that, just as much as I am, learning the guys. Because like I said, we've been on the road recruiting. Haven't done much football yet, but we're getting back into the football things now, and looking forward to hearing his philosophy a little bit more, and how he envisions our roster. And, once we see the guys move around, I'm looking forward to hearing his, perspective on where guys should line up and how they'll be effective.
Yeah, I think it's going to be kind of a work in progress because, it's new for everybody, but they're still on the same page as far as, everything goes. And I think they'll work well figuring everything out. But, the first order of business was getting a recruiting class put together. So everybody went all in on that. Then the second order of business will be figuring out how they're going to approach spring ball and what they're going to install and what the defense is going to look like. But, I think for them, they had to get players in here that they knew were going to fit their system. That was order of business number one, and assembling the staff and figuring out how they're going to work together. But, as much as they've been on the same page and have worked so well together in terms of recruiting, I don't think they'll have a problem figuring out how they're going to approach attacking, installing a defense and the positions and all of that. And they seem to really like each other, Tony White and Terrence Knighton. And it was funny, Tony the other day talking about how he won't cross him because
he's too big.
He's too big. He'll come after him. But
he's a big fella.
I just think you could just tell they're going to work well together, and I think they'll figure it out as they go. And Tony was telling you when he sat down in here that you can get caught up in the 3-3-4 whatever, but it's just a matter of shifting positions.
Yeah.
And so it might have 3 defensive linemen, you might have 4 defensive linemen. It doesn't necessarily say this is exactly how it's going to be with these exact positions. It's going to change depending on the matchups and what personnel they need on the field in certain situations.
And that's what Terrence has said. They're good luck to offenses because you can make it look so different from play to play to play. Makes it hard on a quarterback to identify all that.
And again, Syracuse defense was
pretty good,
locked down at the beginning of the season this year, before they had a bunch of injuries.
Now, transfer portal has certainly we're up to 11 transfer portal additions for the Huskers, and some of those have been on the defensive side, and some of those will be coached by Coach Knighton. He was asked to talk about some of the transfers. What kind of people are there? What did he like about them to want them to be a part of the Cornhusker program?
the football will handle itself. But if you're not a guy that's representing the program the right way on and off the field, then we have no interest. You know, whether you're a 5-star guy or 1-star guy, you got to do things the right way and do them Coach Rule's way. And it's proven to be successful. And, you know, it's a lot of guys on the staff who's played for him, worked for him, and have some type of relationship with him. So we believe in the process. We believe in, you know, what he's preaching, and it's going to work. So we got to make sure we have the right guys that are around that are going to buy in. And then just from the football aspect, you know, if they're here as a football player and we feel like they can help us, you know, they're here for a reason. They're here for that reason. So, you know, they got to have a certain skill set, a certain, you know, work ethic about them. And that's pretty much all you need. And if you can do that part, you know, as an individual, then the coaching, you know, will handle the rest.
I promise I did not even listen to the press conference today, but I mean, that's exactly what I was just saying about how the players buy in, and it's easy to all work together, but also to sell and you know, promote the same message because they believe in it, because they've seen it work. And then also they've got to get the right players that buy in to the culture and that message. And so that's why they're recruiting and making sure they have the group of guys in here that they want to work with that are going to buy into that culture. 2 guys in the transfer portal that he will directly work with. Elijah Judy, who's from A&M, 6'3", 300-pounder. So that's one guy that will be in Coach Knighton's room. And the other, this is a great name, Chief Borders. I mean, that is a phenomenal college football name. 6'4" edge rusher from Florida. Looking forward to seeing both those guys compete here in the spring. And Kai, the junior college.
Yep.
What was his last name? Kai Wallen. Kai Wallen.
Yep.
So, yeah, they got
a bunch of high school guys,
yes,
too.
But we needed depth. I mean, Nebraska had to have depth on both lines, and they attacked that big time with both the portal. It is easier to get defensive linemen out of the portal than it is offensive linemen, but still, they address that with guys that can come in and play immediately, because a lot of times if you're just going from freshmen, a lot of freshmen can't come in and play right away on the offense or defensive line, but that's why they address that immediately with some guys in the portal with those guys right there, and he is excited about them. Let me tell you. He's very excited about those dancing bears.
Folks, our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned that you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. All right, Cole, I'm going to take a break. Coach Foley's a little longer-winded. Some of these cuts are a little bit longer, so I need to get a break in. We'll come back with our special teams coordinator. You hear what he had to say today at the press conference. That's next.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns for teachers.
Wilcher inbounds it on a bounce pass to Breidenbach. Coming up to catch it is Wilcher. Wilcher fires the three on the way. Bingo! Nothing but nylon! Wilcher with his third three, and the Huskers are up 15 at 43-38.
Hey Husker fans, tomorrow join Ken Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisen on the HRN as the men's basketball team faces off against Illinois. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. Tune in to your local affiliates or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Your story. It lives in River City, where you can enjoy a metropolitan vibe and a small town feel, where we set the standard for service and looking out for one another, where there's so much more than steak in our thriving food scene. Your story is the story of Omaha, told by those who live it and love it, whether that's helping you keep up with the Cornhuskers or creating the content you crave. And here in the Omaha World Herald is where it comes to life. Omaha World Herald, where your story lives.
Insider Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. It's the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It is a Monday night of Sports Island here on the Huskers Radio Network. Hope you had a great weekend. A couple of Husker football coaches met with the media today. We heard from Terrence Knighton in the last segment, and now I think this will be the favorite go-to guy in the media, and that's special teams coordinator Ed Foley. He's a little bit like Bill Bush. He's kind of got a story for everything.
Oh, yeah. What's up with those special teams coordinators?
Right?
Being like the media darlings.
Great.
You know, I had thought about having a series and, you know, something about him testing food and tasting food, and I got a message about it on Twitter, and then I sent it to, apparently, I think it might be in the works, so it'd be awesome if we can get that going. But obviously, he's a foodie, and he has made a name for himself already, tasting and trying food across the state of Nebraska.
He has certainly been the coach that went out and around the state a lot, because he didn't need to add anybody else to his kicking room after January 1st. And so he was asked today, what has he learned about the state of Nebraska with all of his travels?
this state has an amazing passion, and each, like, you guys understand my background. I'm from New Jersey, right? So I've recruited for Temple, and just in recruiting New Jersey, now I've recruited New Jersey, and you know, I recruited Europe and New York City and Philadelphia, so that kind of northeast area. So I'm recruiting New Jersey for Temple. It's a pro town, so there's not a true identity for football there. And really in the Northeast, it's kind of a dynamic. But here, every town is Nebraska football. Every person's, I didn't run into anybody that wasn't Nebraska football. Like, it's just driven for Nebraska football. So that part of it was a little eye-opening to me. And my family went to Boston College. I had my father played quarterback at Boston College. My little brother played quarterback at Boston College. So I have a little bit of a familiarity with what they do, but it's nothing like this. So the reception has been amazing. Just going town to town, whether it's where you eat or who you talk to, or when you wear the N around town or into the schools, people know you're there. Like, I'm not really used to having that happen. Again, I've been a little bit limited in terms of where I've recruited and who I've recruited for, but that's been fantastic. It really says a lot about what's going on here.
That surprise you?
No. No. I mean, I that's what I've said, is that they are so blown away by the passion and support here that there is not this kind of passion and support at Baylor, and there's not this kind of passion and support at Temple. Right. I mean, so I think they've just been so appreciative of that, and that everywhere they go, how much people have bought in, and on social media, how people have bought in. I think they are so appreciative and blown away by it, and it's what's helping them sell it, because they believe in it too.
He was also asked about the staff and the chemistry among the staff. What's it like to work with this group of guys? And here was his response.
It's like working with family. It's like working with your brother. It's like working with, now it's your brother that, he runs the show now. It's not my brother, it's not the brother that I'm going to, take out in the backyard or whatever. But like, this is a family for us. And that's not a cliche. It's not like, fake or whatever. It's not some rah-rah statement. We're really family. Like, I mean, I was in Adam Michael's wedding. Like, we've been to each other's weddings. We've been to, we've hung out with each other socially. We've been to each other's relatives' funerals. When you've been to somebody's funeral, we've been to funerals together. We just lost a former player this past week, and a bunch of guys from here went, but there's a camaraderie there. So it really honestly is like family.
All right, let's get into his room, the specialists, the return game, that stuff. He had a great response to return game, but it was about 5 minutes. I'd almost need an entire hour to dedicate to that. But he did sign a kicker back in December, the young man from Omaha West Side, Tristan Alvano, who obviously had a big moment on this field inside of Memorial Stadium, kicking the winning kick for West Side of the state championship game. And he was asked about Tristan and can he be the main kicker next fall. Here was his response.
Let me go to the second part of that, then the first part. The kicking, evaluating the kickers and determining who's going to be the starting kicker or the starting punter for that matter is a little bit, I would say, easier. It's a little cleaner than evaluating linebackers and DBs because it's quantifiable. So we can quantify. How good is he? How many kicks is he making? And then there's pressure kicks, and then there's teaching kicks. So I've got to do a good job at defining for those guys. Hey guys, we're working on our craft here, so it's not always a competition because they'll get worn out. But like, okay, hey guys, we're going to compete on these kicks. No, we're always going to compete when the defense and the offense. When we have the field goal team out there against the field goal block, and coach will let us bang a little bit on those, which is great because a lot of coaches won't. So we'll bang on that. Those will all be competitive kicks. So that'll be quantifiable. So that part of it is, I've had conversations with, all the guys that are in the room right now, and the best guys are going to play, and the guys that do the best. Now, the thing I like about Tristan is more than anything in terms of his leg talent, because he's extremely talented, it was the kicks that he made and the style of kicks that he made. So, one of the things that you get concerned about as a special teams coach evaluating kickers is you see a guy that's got a huge leg, but he's not great under pressure because he hadn't faced that much pressure. Well, heck, that guy's faced a ton of pressure and come through and did it on this field. So that's really important for me, like in terms of seeing him make the big kicks. And it wasn't just the ones that he made out here in the final, which were huge, but he had done that throughout his career where he's had some real pressure kicks that he's made. So that was the difference to me in terms of what separated. Now, know this too, like I've been doing this for 20 years, so I'm connected to some guys that have seen him kick and that have worked with him, so I made those calls to check on him beyond just his high school coach. So, he checked out every single marker. Everybody I talked to about him was like, this guy can handle the pressure. So I'm fired up about him.
I couldn't tell.
I know, right? Man, just keeping it on the DL there, Coach Foley. But yeah, I mean, he told me that when we were talking on signing day about, when you go to evaluate kickers, it's one thing to have them come in here in a camp and there's no pressure and they can boot one 60 yards, but it's another when they can boot one through the uprights with the state championship on the line and, at the end of your final season, that's the last thing you're going to do in high school, and it all comes down to that, and you can deliver with that. That's when you got a good one, when you can deliver those big-time kicks in big-time moments, more so just big-time kicks in just, any moment. And so, yeah, he's obviously very excited about Tristan.
Obviously, Westside, Damon was on the coaching staff at Westside, and Damon loves the kid. So that was enough for me. That he liked the kid. You saw that he made pressure kicks, make him a Husker, and this staff was able to do that. We'll finish here with Coach Foley. He was asked about the punter, Brian Buschini.
I've spoken to Brian. Brian's a real professional approach to his game, and I've watched him. I think he's really good. So we've talked about, and again, I'm not promising anybody any jobs. We've got some other punters in the program, so we're gonna make it a competition. But he's good, and he's good beyond just leg strength because he's got a good leg. I like the fact that he fought through some injury last year. I talked to him about that, on what his mindset was getting through that, because I thought that was really unselfish of him. But if you watch him on film, he really tries to challenge himself with regards to direction. So one of the things that we can do to use his talents not just is to smash him down the field, or he's also really good in dropping him in the 10-yard line. He's a different ball that way. So he's got the big leg. He can drop him inside the 10, but he's good directionally too. That can really help us in terms of he can get that placement the way I think he can. It'll prepare him for the NFL, but it'll also allow our coverage teams to really focus on certain spots on the field, which can really help us.
Greg, there were lots of times, he mentioned how he was hurt a lot, and he was hurting on the sidelines. I saw it. But, boy, he wanted out there so bad, and he was doing everything he could to get out there. I mean, most kids and most players probably would have said, I'm out. But, boy, he fought through a lot, too, that we didn't even know. And probably you didn't even know how much he was hurting when he went out there. But, boy, he wanted to be out there so badly. That's a guy that's invested and loves this program and wants to do whatever he can to help him win.
And we were saying on a broadcast, man, Timmy Bleeckrow can punt. If Brian's but you're right. I'm sure he just was going to refuse to come out of the game unless he couldn't even walk out there.
Yeah, I mean, unless he was just absolutely could not do it, he was going to do it. I mean, he had to be told, no, you cannot do it. I mean, he just wanted to be out there so badly. There was one time, funny story real quick, that he's like, I'm ready to get back out there. Hopefully as a holder, like he wanted to be out there so badly to play, to be out and contribute however he could, which he wasn't a holder before this year. Nope. But he was like, hopefully I can get back out there soon, and as a holder, not a punter, so he wants to do whatever he can to help this team win.
That'd be great. Hey, folks, check out the Husker Extra mobile app from the team at the Lincoln Journal-Star. It's the best place for everything Husker sports. Search the App Store for Husker Extra and download today. 402-413-2400. We're back to a wrap-up hour one next.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Woodhouse Nissan makes car buying easy, enjoyable, and stress-free. We will bring the dealership to your driveway with Nissan at Home. You can shop, drive, and buy a new or pre-owned Nissan all from the comfort of your own home. Explore every aspect of the purchasing process at your pace and convenience. Get real pricing on your vehicle of choice, review lease and financing options, and complete a credit application. Get to your next adventure faster with Woodhouse Nissan.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
When you're a fan, you wear your team's jersey on your back and your heart on your sleeve. After a win, your world glistens. Lose, and the hurt permeates your soul. You'll always have a place with us in the Cox Fan Zone, where everyone can play and connect with other fans in a big group hug. See, in the Fan Zone, you're not some crazy fan. You're home.
Hey, Husker fans, this is Greg Sharpe, voice of the Huskers. Say Fan Zone into your Contour voice remote to play. Not at home? Visit cox.com/fanzone. Go Huskers. Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands, huge selection of pre-owned that you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Final few minutes, hour one of Sports Nightly. Coming up next hour, a little snippet from the latest podcast, Kicking Back with the Cooks. Lauren Cook and talking to her dad, head volleyball coach John Cook. The New Year's resolution. You do not want to miss that, folks. Steve in Woodcliff Lake wants to know, how many guys did Coach Rural put into the NFL his last year at Baylor? You were doing some research on that.
So, I mean, again, I think from what, if the 2019 draft, right, or the 2020 draft?
That would have been the 2020 draft with his senior class or upper class.
Okay, well, the 2019 draft, I believe the 2020 draft, there was 4. But then also, the 2019 draft would have been the year before. There were, I think, 3 from Temple and 3 from Baylor. So you have to think some of those guys were from Temple. So, and then the 2022 draft, which would have been after the 21 season, the Baylor had 6, which was the most of any school in the state of Texas. So you have to kind of consider he's got guys that he had worked with at both places. But to me, too, also, which is not on this list, is undrafted free agents. There's probably a lot in that because, again, I've talked about my friend that's a scout, and they will sign up guys as an undrafted free agent a lot of times because of the program that they came from and knowing, their background. And so I know that they believe a lot of times in guys from Baylor that they know where they're coming from and the kind of program that has produced them. A lot of times they'll sign them in as undrafted free agents more so than they would from other programs.
Little trivia, the 2020 draft was done remotely.
Yes.
Where they were all sitting in their houses and stuff.
Yes.
I thought it was pretty cool.
It was kind of funny, yeah. It was.
Think about the technical nightmare that was to coordinate.
And to send the equipment everywhere and yeah.
But it was kind of fun. I really enjoyed that draft. Well, plus, we were just all dying for something sports-wise to happen, right?
I think the ratings were the highest it had ever been, right?
We hadn't had any games for like 6 weeks.
Just when CeeDee Lamb got drafted, I was sitting in a living room waiting for CeeDee Lamb to get drafted that draft.
There you go. Folks, buckle up. Put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Cole says we're out of here for the hour, but we're back. Have a whole nother hour coming up next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Cornerstone Bank proudly serves Nebraska with a full line of loan and deposit products. Cornerstone is large enough to handle all of your financial needs while offering the personal service you deserve and the local decision-making you expect from a family-owned community bank. Stop in or call one of the Cornerstone Bank locations near you to discover the Cornerstone difference. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Loan subject to approval.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Every day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed a hungry planet. CVA's Elite Acre gives growers assurance of profits and margins in volatile global markets. Manage your risk. Lock in your ROI through CVA's Elite Acre program. Learn more and register to win 500 gallons of CVA's Ruby Diesel when you go online to cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. UNL has been awarded over $14 million by the U.S. Department of Commerce to expand robotics research and teaching spaces, part of a $25 million award given to the state of Nebraska to advance robotics research. The funding will allow the university to educate and train the next generation of Nebraska workers, entrepreneurs, and innovators for careers of the future.
Good evening. I'm Greg Sharpe. Our sports ticker brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. A pair of Husker football coaches met with the media today. Defensive line coach Terrence Knighton and special teams coordinator Ed Foley. Knighton talked about how happy he is to be in Lincoln.
First, I just want to start off by saying thank you to you guys for welcoming us to Nebraska. My family's here. We're enjoying it. It's a dream come true for me, and I'm excited to get to work. My grandma probably kill me right now because I don't have a haircut for this, but just been grinding, and the players been grinding. I look forward to working with those guys, and I'm excited about building relationships with you guys and getting this thing back on track.
Terrence, I'd be glad to share with you my barber's name. One women's game in the Big Ten tonight. It was not much of a game. Maryland routs Penn State 87-66. Men's indoor track and field, they are up to number 6 in the country. Highest ranking for the men since 2015. The women also cracked the top 25 for the first time this winter. They come in at number 20. Both teams will be in action this weekend. The Frank Savine Husker Invitational at the Devaney Center. And the hockey world is mourning the loss of all-time great Hall of Famer Bobby Hull. The Golden Jet played most of his career for the Blackhawks in Chicago. He was the first player in NHL history to score 50 goals in a season. And his son, Brett, also was able to accomplish that feat in his marvelous career. Hull was 84. The 1890 Initiative, do you want to help support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Sports Highlight coming up next.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Meyer, another three. This one's not good. The rebound and a great block out by Griesel. Vandemel's got the ball. 4-0 run to start the second half. Wilcher drives the basketball, splits a double. Oh! What a play! Wilcher, what a fantabulous play! There's our play of the game.
Wow, what a finish by C.J. Wilcher. And the first time tonight, the crowd is on their feet. A little 6-0 run to start the second half.
Kaiser, left low block, guarded by Stewart. Knock away and a steal for Kendall Moriarty. Here come the Huskers with 1:06 to go in the second quarter.
There it is.
Trailing by 11. 3-ball, Lonnie Stewart all alone. You betcha! Off the steal and assist from Kendall Moriarty. Timeout, Kim Barnes, there we go.
And here come the Husker crowd.
To Jazz Shelley.
Throw it back.
Jazz has a double team. Throws it deep left side. Callan Hake for 3. You betcha!
Griesel bring it across the timeline. How about a couple of quick baskets here? Down 10, deep left corner, Jamarcus Lawrence 3. Got it! Nothing but net. Swishola, a CBA 3 for Jamarcus Lawrence.
High top Hybe has it. Huskers looking for a road win over a top 5 team. Hybe driving and scoring down the left lane line. That was classic Sam Hybe.
Yeah, good pace by Sammy. Nebraska answers.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And we're back, hour number 2, Sports On. Let me see if I can get this set right here on the
let's
microphone.
not.
Get that right there.
Let's not.
Lay that up there.
Where's your shirt? Like,
How
I
about
brought
that?
a Bengals shirt on. I'm
How
glad you got
about
some home cooking from the refs to help you out.
What call do you have a problem with?
A bunch of them.
Okay, like what?
The
The hit on Mahomes?
yeah. And,
Oh, you thought that was a bad call?
well, I can't even remember. I can't
The
even.
hit out of bounds to set up the field goal to win the game.
No, that was all right. But like there was I don't even know what.
I mean,
what
everybody's
was.
upset about the timing issue, but the Chiefs punted 3 plays later. So, because they got the one ref was trying to stop the game, and so they stopped. The Chiefs threw the ball, didn't get a first down.
Yeah,
It would've
that
been-
one.
And so, but you know, the Chiefs punted 3 plays later. So that
I didn't like the
really do it.
pass interference call.
They didn't score on that drive.
Um,
I mean, every call that everybody brings up, they didn't score. The Chiefs had a touchdown taken away by a hold. Probably was a hold.
but it's still you're still talking field position and all of that. Like you never know. Every little bit counts.
Yeah.
Because
Most
then,
every call was pretty legit.
I don't
So-
know. I didn't like the pass interference call. But you know what? You can wear your Chiefs all you want. I'm all in on the Eagles now. You better believe I got an Eagles shirt too. So go Eagles. Fly
What do you
Eagles
have
fly.
against the Chiefs?
I don't. You like the Chiefs.
I love the Chiefs.
I am one that I'll go against whoever you like.
Jeez.
So I'm now for Philly. I told you though.
Philly's
I told
really
you
good.
I was in on Philly and the Bengals
Yeah.
from the start. So now I'm all in on Philly.
I mean, my goodness, Patrick Mahomes barely can walk. 3 of their wide receivers can't play the rest of the game, and they go win the game.
Tony did say what you said. You shouldn't talk so much trash. Tony Romo said that about you shouldn't talk so much trash to a guy that's going to fuel a guy like Pat Mahomes. Cincy probably should have kept their mouth shut a little bit.
And
it wasn't so much, I don't think, the players. It was
some of their players, but the mayor was
the one that asked about who's his daddy and all of that. So
So hey, there we go. Should be a great game. The number 1 seeds, both AFC, NFC, in the championship.
Andy Harris says the hit on Joe was BS.
The hit on Joe. I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't remember either. I don't remember details of games like everybody else.
Andy, you're going to have to help me. I mean, I remember one time after Joe threw a pass, I think Frank Clark pushed him and he fell to the ground. You wanted a late hit on that? No, it's not a late hit. I'm happy. Everybody's like, oh, the Bengals had all those Huskers. Yes, they did. The Chiefs have DiCaprio Bootle. So can we not be happy for DiCaprio Bootle? He gets to go to the Super Bowl.
And, I mean, I told you that Orlando Brown, I've talked about him. He's one of my favorite guys I worked with at Oklahoma. He's on the offensive line and he was on the show one time when you were out with baseball last year. And so, he's come on Sports Nightly. Creed Humphrey also. I mean, I like the Chiefs too, but I just was for the Bengals. I went all in on the Bengals because of the Cam Taylor-Britt and the running backs and Zach Taylor. So I just went all in on them. I'm fine with, but now I'm going to be for the Eagles.
I thought Zach's postgame was fantastic. I thought he did a great job. It was incredible. He handled it really, really well. But the Chiefs played better. The Chiefs were better yesterday. Well, the Bengals gave up 5-6 sacks. Joe threw 2 picks. I mean, it was tough, but that game was really good. I was disappointed for Brock Purdy to get hurt. That was too bad.
Yeah, that should have been a better game. But with him going down after the first series, that just really made things. You could tell they were so out of sync after that. I mean, it was our 4th quarterback.
Awful.
Of the season.
So bad. And Brock, now, what are they going to do? Do you go? Is Brock your guy going forward? I think they're going to have a tough decision to make in the offseason.
You don't think they're going to keep Jimmy G?
No, Jimmy G, I think, will be the one guy that goes. But do they?
Who wants him? Nobody wanted him last year.
Isn't that crazy? All the guy does is win.
But their starter is Trey Lance. So I think,
what do you do?
I think they'll keep him, and you still got to have a good backup.
So
you
Purdy's
have
the other guy.
Purdy be your backup.
Yeah.
But I just am like, what are you going to do with Jimmy G? Because nobody wanted. They were in this situation a year ago.
Somebody's got to.
It was Jimmy G and Baker, and nobody wanted either guy.
The Jets should take Jimmy G. There's a lot of.
Because I've heard that Jimmy G's can kind of be. I've heard this all speculation, but a little bit drama follows him, and which I think Baker was more so people punished him for the Browns taking Deshaun and what the precedent that they set with paying a quarterback and all of that. But both those quarterbacks had a hard time finding a spot last time around.
They did. Jimmy G, I think, is worth a flyer for somebody who's out. So many teams. The Texans have a bad quarterback situation. There are a lot of teams that could use Jimmy G. Okay, we're talking NFL. Terrence Knighton met with the media today. Terrence played in the National Football League, played for a couple of franchises, Denver, the Patriots. And while he was in the NFL, he got the nickname Pot Roast. Now, Husker fans will remember Pork Chop. That was Corey Ross, great running back for the Big Red. Pot Roast now is our defensive line coach, folks. And today he was asked, how did you get that nickname? Let's listen.
So the high school kids, not necessarily. Some of the college kids still know. But, we're coming back from Seattle. It was my rookie year. So obviously as a rookie, I don't have a say on anything. We're coming back from Seattle. They just kicked our butt. It was like 42-7 or something like that. And a 6-hour flight back to Jacksonville. And, the lights are off on the plane. And the flight attendant comes around, asks everybody what they want for dinner. And it was shrimp Alfredo or pot roast. So I don't eat seafood, so shrimp Alfredo was out of it. And pot roast is beef, so that was actually my first time having it. And I thought, I'm going to go with the pot roast. So like 10 minutes later, she comes back down the aisle. She's like, pot roast. And I lean over. I'm like, right here. And my teammate behind me, who's kind of like the comedian of the team, Clint Ingram, he was like, man, you said that like that was your name. And, the certain guys on the team, not to get started and stay away from. So I'm like, whatever. And I go, I eat my food, go back to sleep. And the next day I'm doing media and talking to the media about how we just, gave 150 yards rushing and all that. And I see him walking over, and I'm like, oh, man, here we go. And he was like, hey, from now on, y'all call him pot roast. And obviously they asked about it, ran with it. And, you know, once it hit Twitter and everyone liked it, it stuck with me. And, you know, a big man needs a nickname. So, you know, you probably hear a lot of stories. I ate all the pot roast on the plane. That's not true. That's really the story. That's really the story of how it happened. So, you know, it stuck with me. And then when I went to Denver, when I signed as a free agent there, I tried to get rid of the name and say, hey, why don't y'all come up with something? And the Bronco fans were like, no, pot roast is going to stay. So it stuck with me, and I'm still pot roast now. So I enjoy it.
Oh, that is fantastic, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, he tells it so well, too. But pot roast, what a great nickname. I feel like it matches,
It
you
does.
know?
It does. He's got a really good sense of humor.
He really does. I mean, you know, again, going back to the best offensive linemen and defensive linemen are the nicest, kindest people off the field and the meanest on the field. I feel like he kind of embodies that stereotype, or not stereotype, but that persona of being nice and kind and a little bit more gentle off the field and just mean as can be on the field. That seems to be what he is.
Love him. Hey, buckle up, folks. Put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Husker Wrestling had a good Sunday. They took care of the Badgers at the Devaney Center yesterday. Some really good performances. I'm told they had a nice crowd at the Bob for the wrestling match. So Mark Manning's team took down another ranked wrestling team. And for Mark Manning, his 300th win for a dual win for for his coaching career.
Congratulations, Coach Manning, and I think you could tell, too, just the former athletes that have come out and given words of encouragement and how much he meant to them and all of that. I mean, he's done a lot of good things in a not so easy conference to coach in for him to, you know, get to that milestone. So I know he's meant a lot to a lot of these athletes and wrestlers, and 300 and many more to come, right?
Good for him. And good for those guys. Sure enjoyed your chat the other night with Brock Hardy. He was impressive yesterday. Peyton Robb remains undefeated. There's some good little storylines.
Mikey Labriola.
Mikey, let's still continue to wrestle really well.
And, I mean, we talked about, 125 is Liam Cronin. Boy, he's had a good year.
He bounced back.
You know, he had some tough losses last year, but he's really grown too. So I've seen a lot of it too is you're throwing some guys into some situations they hadn't been in. I think it was probably growing pains a little bit, but Coach Manning told you at the beginning of the season how much he likes this group, and he thought that they could do some good things. And I think it just maybe took a little while for some of the guys that are in these new roles and wrestling on this stage for the first time. I mean, even Brock Purdy told me that the first time he wrestled in Devaney, he had exuded too much energy, and he ended up losing. And that was one of his few losses. He has 4 losses on the season, and that was one of them because he wasn't prepared mentally for how hyped he was going to be, and so he exuded too much energy, and he had to learn how to control that, which a lot of that goes into learning at this stage of how to wrestle at this stage. And so, I think they've got some good young talent, and you think about Brock Hardy is only a freshman, he's a sophomore on the roster. You got Ridge Lovett, who's arguably one of your best wrestlers that's redshirting this year. I mean, you got a lot of young talent on this roster too.
I was trying to look up how many wrestling duels do you get per year? It's like 12, 14, maybe? Trying to look that up while I'm on the air.
By the way, too, that Penn State, Iowa.
Was
unbelievable?
Awesome to watch. I went home and watched the end of that.
I did too.
That was great stuff. I'm trying. My point being, it's not like you get 30 matches a year. So think about to get to 300. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's kind of like what you're saying, with basketball, sometimes you can have 25 to 30 games that you play in a season.
You get at least 30 games you play.
Yeah, so, you could rack them up, but with duels, I mean, not as many.
Not nearly as many per season.
And I don't know, probably they don't count once you go to the tournament, right? I mean, so it's literally only.
Regular season, you're done. Yeah, so for him to get 300, fantastic. He's one of my favorite guys on this coaching staffs at Nebraska, so congratulations to Coach Manning. The next time they are at home, because yesterday was at home, they're now on the road for a while. Sunday the 12th, Super Bowl Sunday. See how it all ties together? We start talking NFL. Rutgers, noon at the Devaney Center. So Super Bowl Sunday, your next chance to see Mark Manning's team wrestle at home. Put it on your calendar. All right, 402-413-2400. Folks, time to also tell you that our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you were looking for with Woodhouse. We're back with a snippet of the latest podcast, Kicking Back with the Cooks, that includes a New Year's resolution for John Cook. You're going to want to hear this, folks. Come on back.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
My husband and I love to live in Nebraska.
It's the good life.
We always vacation here.
Love those Nebraska state parks.
We love to eat here.
Where are you going to get a better steak?
And we love to play here, especially Nebraska Pick 5 from the Nebraska Lottery. It has a $50,000 starting jackpot, drawing 7 days a week, and all the proceeds go back to our state.
Hey, honey, this weekend, let's buy some Nebraska Pick 5 tickets, go to a state park, and grill some steaks.
Like our first date.
I'm no amateur.
Top prize odds 1 in 501,000.
Wilcher inbounds it on a bounce pass to Breidenbach. Coming up to catch it is Wilcher. Wilcher fires the three on the way. Bingo! Nothing but nylon! Wilcher with his third three, and the Huskers are up 15 at 43-38.
Hey, Husker fans. Tomorrow, join Ken Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisen on the HRN as the men's basketball team faces off against Illinois. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. Tune in to your local affiliates or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to iian.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The thoughtfully redesigned 2023 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. The 2023 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of June 2022. Duteau Subaru in Lincoln and DuteauSubaru.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Nebraska women's basketball offers one of the best values in all of Husker sports with single-game reserve tickets at Pinnacle Bank Arena for just $15. Adult general admission seating is just $10, while youth and senior general admission tickets are $5. Children 6 and under are just $1. Plans now to bring your whole family to Husker women's basketball for Big Ten home games in January and February. Get your tickets and the full schedule at Huskers.com.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
Kick off the new year in a new Jeep SUV or Ram truck from Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Blair during the Start Something New sales event. Woodhouse is your trusted Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer for over 30 years with an extensive inventory and sales experts who will guide you to the vehicle fit for your lifestyle. Find your next vehicle online at WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on Sports Nightly. You're hearing advertisements during Sports Nightly for $18.90. They sponsor our ticker at the top of the hour. And they've done a lot of social media for some incoming volleyball players in the last week or so. A lot of those incoming freshmen have NIL deals.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big part of it, and Coach Cook has talked about it, and I think it's awesome that, the fans and donors and businesses want to invest in volleyball here because it's a big part of it, and I think it's so cool when they pop up those graphics and you see 6 of the top 10 NIL getters in college volleyball are from Nebraska. I mean, it just goes to show, I'm so thankful that fans here care about women's sports here, and volleyball is honestly, it's up there with football around here. And, the fact that people care and want to hear about it and want to invest in it, it's awesome. I love it.
Well, we want to hear a little bit of the latest podcast, Kicking Back with the Cooks. This is where Lauren talks to her dad, the head volleyball coach, John Cook. I want you to really pay attention. There's a lot of good information in here, but also he talks about a New Year's resolution.
5 new freshmen plus, 6 technically because of merit, but 5 new freshies: Bergen, Harper, Laney, Andy, and Caroline. How are they adjusting, and what are your first thoughts of them as, I guess, officially college freshmen?
Well, they're working really hard. They're really focused. Just based on the few days I've seen them, we started beach, and first day of beach might have been the best first day of beach we've ever had. So these guys can play, and even though the sand makes you look awful when you first get in it, they were making it look pretty good. Just 2 of them have already gotten in trouble, so I like that because that just shows you they got some spunk. But Kelly deals with that stuff, so I don't have to be the bad guy. And but typical freshmen, somebody always gets in trouble the first week, and we teach from it. But they're a very spunky, lively, big personalities, and talented group.
Hey, you'll never learn if you don't make mistakes.
That's right.
The last update I want to touch on is Maddie Kubik, Caitlin Horde decided to go and play pro. I believe Caitlin went to Romania. Maddie is in Puerto Rico. What updates do you have there?
Well, Caitlin went to Romania and got hurt the first practice, so that was tough. So I think she's getting ready to come back from that. But so far, she seems like she likes it. They're treating her very well. She's already been to Paris, so traveling around Europe, which has been great. Maddie's in Puerto Rico. They had their first scrimmage, and she's going to play against Callie Schwarzenbach's team, I think, Saturday night in a scrimmage. So Maddie's in a great setup. You've been to Puerto Rico. She's down on Isla something, where you were down there for a while staying in a hotel. There's the one big beach, and then there's this other area where the shopping centers are, and it's a beach as well.
Oh yeah.
It's Isla something.
In San Juan.
Yeah. So she's in San Juan, which that's the best place to be because you're around everything.
Did you figure out, is she playing with Gina Mancuso?
Yeah, and Gina Mancuso I think they lost somebody, so they called. Gina had played for this team before, and they called her, and she showed up. So,
wow.
Maddie she had got there the one day I was talking to Maddie this about a week ago, and Gina Mancuso is going to play on that team. So we got 2 Huskers down there, and Valentina, the setter, the Puerto Rican setter that's about 38 years old. Natalia. Natalia Valentinas, I think is her name. But she married a guy.
I don't think she's 38.
She's pretty old for volleyball, but.
She married a guy from Omaha.
Yeah, so she's been living in Omaha, and I think she's showing up there this week as a setter. She's a really good setter. So Maddie's excited to play with her, and she was a national team setter, played in a lot of big matches, played overseas, but she ended up marrying a guy from Omaha and lives in Omaha, so that's pretty cool. You got 3 Nebraska connections on one team in Puerto Rico.
That'll be a good team.
And Kaylin has no Americans. All international. She's the only American, so that'll be a big adjustment for her, but she says everybody's really, really nice and they all speak English, which is good.
That's helpful.
Yeah. And then, Kenzie Knuckles is working for 1890, so I have my first meeting with her on Friday to get an update, and she wants to meet with me, so we'll see what that's about. So I got former players.
Did she have knee surgery?
Yeah, she had knee surgery, and she's rehabbing with Jolene. And she's coaching club, rehabbing with Jolene, and working for 1890. So she's super busy, and great transition for her. And then Nicklin, we had our first beach practice yesterday. So Nicklin served balls for 2 hours straight. Because we go 2 practices, and so she had to serve balls off a box for 2 hours straight. So at the end of practice, I go, "Hey, Nicklin, I hope your shoulder's sore tomorrow, so you feel like what it's like to really coach." And,
did she have to ice it?
She was like walking out, like shaking it, and then there was a water bottle. So I said, Nicklin, you got to pick up that water bottle. It's one of the Huskers left it here. So I said, isn't this fun? You get to pick up after these guys. So welcome to coaching. she did great. She raked the sand court after the practice, and so she's really jumping into embracing, what our GAs do, and kind of the ground floor of coaching. And ironically, her dream job is to coach at Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt hasn't had volleyball and just started it. They hired the Kentucky assistant, Anders, as a head coach, and I know she's had one interview with them, and I think they're going to they're hiring slowly, because I don't think they play for another year, start playing, and then I think they don't become official till 2025 maybe. So I think she would really like to work at Vanderbilt, because she's from Tennessee. It's Nashville. She would be great because she has great connections there. So we're hoping she could parlay this into her first coaching job. And
one of your other GAs got hired somewhere, correct?
Yeah, Remy got hired at Arizona. So, and everybody else is back. So that's one of the other things about the end of the year, there's all these new opportunities for players that finish in our program for them to start. So we got one goes in coaching, one's in 1890 doing something, brand new, and then 2 continue to play professionally. So that's an exciting time.
Anything you're looking forward to for next season?
Well, I'm looking forward to building this team, and we have everybody can play, and there's going to be some great competition. So I'm looking forward to watching these guys go at it, when we get in the gym. So that's one thing that I'm I'm excited about. We're going to do some, we've got some things we're working on that have never been done before. So we'll talk more about that down the road. But, we never want to stay the same, and we never want to assume we got it figured out. So we got some epic things that are in the works. And
I love that I know. I don't even have to ask you, because I already know.
You only know like this much. There's a lot more.
I know like this much.
Yeah. Well, there's anyway, it's going to be fun. But we'll be talking about that here maybe in February.
Did you make a New Year's resolution?
I don't remember if I did. But no, one of the things that I challenged myself and Jalen and Kelly is we got to reinvent ourselves every year. So we're going to reinvent this team. We're going to ask our players to reinvent and to work on things to get better. And then we got to do the same as coaches. So I'm just trying to, I'm trying to read. I've got some things online, masterclass that I'm watching that you can pull up all these very successful people, and they teach classes on certain things. So right now I'm on Mike Krzyzewski right now. He's on there for 3 hours talking about coaching, which is great. But you can also learn how to barbecue. Richard Branson's on there, teaches classes. President Clinton teaches classes about leadership. So there's a lot of very interesting people. So just trying to stimulate my brain, learn. Read a couple good books already, and then of course I do, a ton of speaking. So preparing that and interacting with the state. I just did my first talk this morning, and it was awesome. And just interacting, sharing Nebraska volleyball, but also trying to inspire people and just be a better coach.
Are you still on your cold plunge, cold shower kick?
Yes. Okay.
It makes a difference, right?
It's unreal. It's unreal. So, yeah, so I'm going to start transitioning from the cold shower into our cold tub. And that's my next transition, because in the cold tub, you get all the way up to your neck. In the shower, right, you can kind of move around. So, but there's something to it. So
you do it in the morning.
Yep.
You do, how long are you up to now? Over a minute?
I'm up to 1:30.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it just, how would you, we're both doing it, by the way. I just feel like it gives you more energy. It shocks your system. You feel better. I don't know how else to explain the benefits, but it's life-changing.
You're absolutely right. And there is scientific evidence, and that's, again, listening to podcasts. There's Dr. Huberman out of Stanford is really big on this, and there's scientific evidence how this impacts you. So I'm hoping we can get Mike Elliott going on it, because we got him on mud water and all these other things, getting him off coffee. Now the next thing is the cold plunge.
Oh gosh, I would pay money to see Mike do a cold plunge.
So on his way out, Coach Cook was talking about that even more, and so I was asking about it. I'm like, so can you start it on cold and then go to hot? He said, oh, no.
Other way.
No.
Right? Take your hot shower and then go cold.
No, you just get in the cold shower immediately when you wake up.
Oh.
And you don't turn it hot at all. Like, you literally just take a cold shower.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't bring myself to do it. I'm going to have to wait till the summer to do it. I can't do it. It's too cold right now. I'm too cold. And because, my dog wants to go out and potty, and I open up the door, and it is I feel like that's cold enough for me to wake me up. And then I'm not going to try the cold shower thing until I get it's warmer outside.
Cole does it, but he takes his normal shower and then finishes it with the cold.
Some people say that, but that's not what he said. Literally, no warm, no hot whatsoever.
Oh my gosh!
Literally, just cold.
I don't know. Maybe our audience thinks that they could do that. I don't. I'm with you. I don't know that I could do that.
I mean, I told myself after listening to them talk about it, I would try it, but when it came time to do it, I'm like,
Ooh, turn that knob. Go. Wow.
I can't even do warm. I got to have scalding hot.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't speak from experience on that deal.
How about him reading books, watching? It sounds like he's watching TED Talks or something like that, kind of like that.
Again, I've said this a lot about coaches that seem to be able to maintain success throughout the years, and it's about evolving and staying. And that's what he just said about challenging themselves to continue to reinvent themselves. He does that. You cannot coach the same way. And that's why, I think Trev has gone back to we can't do things like we did in the 90s.
Right.
You can't. I mean, it's a different athlete. It's a different sport. It's different times. So while coaches can maintain having same success, it's not done the same way. And Coach Cook is the epitome of continuing to evolve and change himself. He is not the same coach that he was 15 years ago, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. He continues to change each year, and that's how these coaches that have maintained success for so long, Rhonda Revelle, another one of those, they don't do the things that they did 20 years ago, 25. It's got to change.
The full podcast, I'm told, is going to be dropped tomorrow, so be looking for it sometime tomorrow. That's a good snippet of it. That's probably not quite half of it, but there's a lot more good stuff in there about the current roster.
A lot of it doesn't even make the final podcast either.
True.
They have some conversations on there that it's just fascinating. I love listening to them talk, and she can ask them questions that nobody else can.
Nope.
And she can get stuff out of them that she can ask the same question other people, and it's a completely different answer. And he talks about how much he learns from her too. It's just being that setter, that quarterback, having a different perspective of the game.
Very cool. Folks, come support the women's basketball team as we pack PBA February 18th against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Join the Omaha World Herald, Lincoln Journal-Star, Husker Extra, and Beck's Hybrids in helping the Nebraska women's basketball team pack PBA. Coach Williams and the Huskers want you there to give them a home court advantage against the Hawkeyes February 18th. Go purchase your tickets at Huskers.com. 402-413-2400. Back with more of the show coming up.
The Lead Center for Performing Arts is celebrating 33 years of bringing the world's top artists to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln campus. Upcoming shows include Hamilton, Yo-Yo Ma, American Ballet Theater, and Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. Get tickets at leadcenter.org.
The Mazda lineup of SUVs will provide safety, performance, and capability on your journey ahead. From the 3-row Mazda CX-9 to the first ever Mazda CX-50, our sales team is ready to guide you to the SUV for your lifestyle. Shop the Omaha Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers at Woodhouse Mazda in Bellevue or Woodhouse Place Mazda. Visit us online for your next Mazda SUV at woodhousemazda.com.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Your story, it lives in the capital city, where we take Nebraska nice to another level, and we always show up for Go Big Red. In your story, a pioneering spirit has built a community that cares. Your story is the story of Lincoln, told by those who live it and love it. Whether that's breaking news from the Capitol or sending you to the best shows in town. And here in the Lincoln Journal-Star is where it comes to life. Lincoln Journal-Star, where your story lives.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It is a Monday night. No show tomorrow night. Husker basketball as we take a look at what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. Huskers at Illinois to take on the Fighting Illini. 6 o'clock tip. Pregame coverage with Kent and Jake at 5 o'clock. Husker women in action on Thursday at home. Michigan State, a rare 7:30 tip time. Pregame coverage at 7 with Matt and Jeff. That is what is on tap, presented by Bud Light. Let's head to the phones. Let's go up to West Point. Husker Dan. Good evening, Dan. How are you?
Hi, Greg and Jessica. How are you tonight?
Husker Dan, it's been too long. We were just talking about you the other day, how you haven't called in a while.
I know it, and that's my fault.
Well, don't be so long next
Been busy.
time.
I know. I need to stay on that a little bit. But hey, I'm gonna change this up a little bit. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Husker baseball. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I seen that they redid the whole field, the infield, the outfield, new grass, and that, Greg, that the dirt they got going to the bases are a lot darker in color. Is there any scientific, or is it, I don't know.
I haven't noticed that. I haven't been out there to see it. I don't know that they changed much of the dirt. Maybe they did. It needed new sodding. They put down sod. I'll ask one of the coaches. I saw him today, but I'll ask if they put in darker dirt. So I'll do some research for you.
Yeah. And my other thing is, and I hope you can answer this, today I seen that they came out with their new home uniforms. They're white with the red Nebraska on the chest, and it's really kind of a old school scroll.
What'd you think of it?
I love it. They knocked it, no pun intended, but they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, Bryce Matthews did a little photo session for him. I love it. I think it's a really clean, crisp look. I think it's fantastic.
Okay, so they had a photo of a full team in the background. So what year did that come from then?
I think it's the 70s or late 70s.
It's from the Buck.
It's at the Buck, so I think it's the late 70s, but I don't know the exact year that they pulled this replica off of.
Oh, okay. Oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's a good look.
I'm so excited this year. They're going to be so good. I think Coach Bolt's got them going in the right direction, and I'm just so ecstatic.
Hey, Dan.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I'm looking up some of the Twitter stuff. I think this is the 90s because they've got a picture of Erstad in one of these, so that would have been during his playing days.
Oh, my goodness.
So this would have been from the early 90s.
Wow. That is so awesome. Can't wait.
Cool.
Got to warm up, though.
Be here in 2.5 weeks. Dan, don't be a stranger. Come back sooner.
I sure will. Thank you, guys. We'll talk soon.
You bet.
I love the unis, too.
Aren't they
I think
good
they're
look?
awesome.
And Bryce did a good job modeling those. But, yeah, I was looking through the Twitter
Did you give him
account.
some pointers?
No. I talked to him a little bit the other day, but I see this one with Erstad in it. So this must be from 92 or 93. That when that was that, maybe it's a 30-year deal. Maybe it's 30 years back or something. But, yeah, that's
Hey, Andy wants to know if you're going to play Torrey Pines when you're in San Diego.
No, I'm not. The last time we were out there for baseball, I did walk the course a little bit. That's what the PGA was this past weekend. Great course, phenomenal. I mean, some of the views over the Pacific Ocean from up there is fantastic. Hard to beat. Big time course.
My dad's played it. He likes
Has he?
it. Yep.
Yeah, it's a public course. You can get on there. It's a little pricey, but I mean it's a couple $100. But yeah, it's a World Championship course.
I think the players really like that course. It's one of the favorites among the PGA golfers.
They have a north side and a south side. The south side is kind of the championship side of the course, but yeah, it's fun.
I mean, the weather, you can't beat it.
Fantastic. Love that place out there. This week, the PGA guys are at Pebble, which that's one I need to play too.
Yes.
I got to play Pebble. Jack Nicklaus has always said if I get one more round of golf, I'm told I get one more round of golf, it'd be Pebble Beach.
That's his favorite course, right?
He loves it, yeah. Tiger probably likes Augusta maybe a little bit more, but I think he likes Pebble.
I think that's up there for him. I think I read something somewhere where that's one of his favorite courses.
He won a U.S. Open at Pebble Beach by like 10 shots. Crushed everybody.
Yeah. He probably has a few of his favorite courses. Boy, back in the day, it was part of why I didn't love golf back then, because it's kind of boring because you knew he was going to win every time out, but he changed the game. It's why it is so great to watch now and so competitive now, because he inspired a full generation of golfers. Like, how many of these guys now that are playing that are among the world's best said, who inspired you to play golf? It's Tiger Woods. So back then it was kind of like, gosh, he's just going to win and he's going to dominate everybody. But now he has made golf what it is today.
And he's proud of that, and all those younger guys know that. They revere him. I can't find it right now, Jessica, but go. Rory won in Dubai today, won a tournament over in Dubai. The trophy's like as big as Rory. You got to find it. It's pretty funny.
Rory's not a big guy.
He's holding the trophy. It's like shoots way above his head. It's a huge trophy.
You know, I told you I walked with him at the tournament I went to last year. His following was massive.
Huge.
I was like, can we move along, people?
He's probably the most popular guy currently on the tour.
Probably, yeah.
I would think he is. But, yeah, go find the trophy. You'll laugh about it. We need to take a break. We got weekend winners to get into. We're going to come back and do that. Time to also tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. More. Our last segment coming up next.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
Hi, it's Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald.
And I'm Amy Just from the Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, listen, HuskerExtra.com and the Husker Extra mobile app have the best coverage of Nebraska sports.
Our reporting team shares features and analysis of all Husker sports, along with the latest recruiting news and more.
Plus, Husker Extra subscribers have access to our exclusive podcast, The Showdown, where we share our latest insights and expectations.
Go to HuskerExtra.com or search Husker Extra in your app store.
Download and subscribe today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Wilcher inbounds on a bounce pass to Breidenbach. Coming up to catch it is Wilcher. Wilcher fires the three on the way. Bingo! Nothing but nylon! Wilcher with his third three, and the Huskers are up 15 at 43-38.
Hey Husker fans, tomorrow join Ken Pavelka and Jake Muehlheisen on the HRN as the men's basketball team faces off against Illinois. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. Tune in to your local affiliates or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
We're back, final segment of Sports Island here on a Monday night. A couple of texts to get through. Sam in Omaha, have the concession stands been better at PBA? Yes, they have. They have improved in the last couple of home games. Will there be alcohol sales at Haymarket Park this spring? No, not as of now. Maybe that changes. I have not heard that it's going to, but no. Also, I think I heard that tickets to the spring game go on sale tomorrow for season ticket holders. That is correct. Then the general public can get them Wednesday at 10. I don't know that we sell it out, Jessica, but I bet it gets close for the spring game.
I bet so, too. Because, I mean, there was how many when Scott Frost got hired?
I think we had 75.
So.
I think it's in that ballpark.
Yeah, I think so, too. There's a lot of excitement, and there's a lot of great players that are coming back that people want to see. So, yeah, let's make it a sellout.
It should be good. So, season ticket holders, tomorrow you can purchase tickets, and then for the general public, 10 a.m. on Wednesday morning. You can get in there and buy your spring game tickets. We'll give you some updates on ticket numbers later on in the week. Dennis says, Greg, what baseball stadiums are you looking forward to this year? I've not done baseball at the U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, home of the Vikings. Looking forward to that. And I've not been to Mobile, Alabama. South Alabama is who we play week 2, so haven't been there. So.
Which, by the way, should be a fun weekend for Husker fans, that Minnesota-Minneapolis trip, because the women are there for the Big Ten tournament.
And folks want to go up and get both. And there's a deadline. I think it's for the baseball tickets, February 5th. Maybe it's for the women's tournament. February 5th, which is late this week, to get tickets. So if you're interested in going up there and catching both events, that would be a great thing.
I went to the Big Ten women's tournament. It is fun. It is a fun event. Yeah. I love going to basketball tournaments all day in the gym, but it should be fun for Husker fans to be able to see both.
Absolutely. Time for weekend winners. Let's start with Cole tonight. Cole, what do you have?
I will go with Jalen Hurts as my weekend winner.
Nice.
Not just for the game on Sunday, but just for the whole season. I think in his third year, he's plays like a vet already. He also, I looked this up, he's thrown 6 interceptions the entire season.
Wow.
Which is
Michael
unreal.
Jordan, right?
Yeah.
His coach called him Michael Jordan.
That's Patrick Mahomes, but that's fine.
No. No, that is not what was said. You done, Cole?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
What do you have?
Well, so Taylor Robertson plays for Oklahoma. She just broke the NCAA record, 503 made three-pointers in her career, which is more than any other basketball player in women's history, more than any other player in men's basketball history. And her idol was Steph Curry growing up. She wanted to shoot like Steph Curry. And so Steph Curry actually sent her a congratulations video and then invited her to the game tonight. The Warriors are playing at the Thunder, and so she got to meet him, and he just sent her a congratulations about, boy, you did something that nobody's ever done and shot it over 44%. So I think it's awesome to me that Steph Curry is embracing and promoting the women's game. Always important for those NBA guys. It takes the men to continue to promote the women's game, too.
Very cool. My winner, I mentioned him earlier in the hour, Mark Manning, getting his 300th career win. Manning's career record, 300, 129, and 5. That's impressive. 300, 129, and 5. Good job, Coach Manning. Well done. Very cool. Very cool. No show tomorrow.
No show tomorrow.
Men's basketball. We're back. Wednesday is signing day. It's also National Women and Girls Sports Day. So we'll have a full hour about that, and we'll have full coverage of Matt Rule's press conference on Wednesday. Looking forward to hearing from the coach.
It's going to be a busy day on Wednesday.
He's not done a press conference in about 6 weeks.
Has had some hires. We have some new additions to the roster. Lots to talk about.
Sure is. Hey, our Sports Sunday Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands, huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students in Nebraska's Rake School of Computer Science and Management created software that is saving a Nebraska e-commerce company 34,000 hours of work per year. Created by a group of 5 Rake School students for their Design Studio Capstone project, this software is one of 300 real-world software solutions created by Rake School students.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community